malaking bagay yung walang TRO na in-issue. Because kung may in-issue yung TRO, we cannot even hold the hearing na on April 14, which is yung pinaka-schedule na nga for the reception of evidence sa determination of probable cause. So the fact na pinapa-comment lang muna, that's a good thing na hindi mapipigilan. Kasi yun naman talaga ang inaasahan namin. We are hoping that this time around, the Supreme Court will exercise judicial restraint. Na wag na sanang makialam, na wag na sanang pigilan pa uli itong ongoing impeachment proceedings kasi kailan pa natin mapapanagot yung dapat mapanagot. So this is a good thing na wala pa, but you can never tell because nga, of course, meron silang urgent prayer for the issuance of TRO and also preliminary injunction. So pwedeng hindi maka-issue ng, hindi muna mag-i-issue ng TRO, but there is always a possibility if we talk about within the realm of possibility na maaring pwede ring injunction na lang and not just TRO. But the very fact itself, tama yon, ay malaking bagay na sa amin yan para hindi na hadlangan dahil nga magsisimula na dapat sa April 14, that is Tuesday next week.
And then kung na-issue na rin po yung court order allowing Ramil Madriaga to attend yung April 14 hearing po, ano po yung comment nyo on this?
Well, that's a very good development because that was requested by the committee through the chairperson na ipa-appear sa Committee on Justice April 14 because that was sought for in the subpoena. That was part actually of my request for subpoena na papuntahin siya para i-authenticate, i-identify yung kanyang affidavit at dalhin kung ano pa man na mga ibang ebidensya o na meron siya at pwede siyang i-subject to clarificatory questioning. So malaking bagay din yan na inaksyonan kaagad ng RTC, the one handling the case against Mr. Madriaga. So ang sisiguraduhin na lang is yung he'll be provided with proper escort. And malamang ang NBI ang mag-escort. I'm sure that the proper officer of the House is already coordinating kanino man yung sa court, coordinating with the court, and coordinating also with the camp of Mr. Madriaga, for example, through his lawyer. Yes.
And just this morning po, in-announce yung issuance ng more subpoenas, including for Attorney Michael Poa, tsaka yung NBI records po for yung investigation into threats made by the Vice President po. So ano po yung ina-expect natin sa April 14 hearing ngayon na nilalabas na nga po itong mga subpoena at ayun, inalaw na nga po si Madriaga?
Of course, as you know, there are several grounds doon sa impeachment complaints, doon sa dalawang impeachment complaints na similar yung mga grounds. And therefore, request for subpoena ay inaksyonan last March 25. Kasi yung March 25, yun yung ground rules, yung pag-approve ng ground rules, saka yung pag-action, resolution ng mga requests for subpoena. So it's but proper na yung Committee on Justice inaksyonan yon and lumabas na nga ito mga subpoena. So kung sa April 14, ang maaasahan is yung tungkol sa issue ng confidential funds, the misuse of confidential funds. The fact na ang mga pinasabina at nasabina nga for April 14 are yung, aside from Mr. Madriaga, ay yung kanyang notary public para i-authenticate din, i-identify yung kanyang affidavit executed November 29, 2025. Tapos yung kay Michael Poa, because meron siyang mga statements noon, may mga sinabi siya noong mga hearings before the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. And yung request for subpoena kay Attorney Michael Poa that was made by by Representative Tinio. And then yung sa COA, yung mga related documents, all the submissions to COA, doon sa mga nandun na ngayon sa Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Team, Audit Office, ICFAO, Intelligence Confidential Funds Audit Office of the COA, that's ICFAO. So si Attorney Camora, yung sinabina, at marami-rami yung mga pinapaproduce sa kanyang mga documents related to the issue of the misuse and abuse of the confidential funds pertaining to the office of the Vice President and the office of the DepEd. So, and then yung pinasabina rin yung archives, yung head nung or in charge of the archives unit or archives division of the House tungkol naman dun sa mga dokumento at mga records, mga recording ng mga yung TSNs, yung mga naging proceedings noon before the Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, dahil yung mga naglabasa na yan ay nagsimula, ang mga naglabasa na yan tungkol sa confidential funds ay nagsimula dun sa mga proceedings na yan held during the last Congress. So based on the first set of resource persons summoned or invited through subpoena, ay ang tatalakayin sa April 14 ay yung issue of alleged misuse and abuse of confidential funds. And those are grounds number 1 and 2 doon sa 3rd or Saballa et al. Complaint. And kasama rin yan doon sa 4th or Cabrera complaint. Na parehong na-determine na sufficient in form, sufficient in substance, and sufficient in grounds. Kaya itong gagawin ng mga proceedings starting April 14 hanggang April 22 and 29 ay yung determination of probable cause. Kasi isipin din ho natin na yung determination of sufficiency in substance, in form, in substance, and also sa grounds, kasama na yan. Yan na yung mga initial stages sa pag-determine ng probable cause. Now, ito na yung pinaka-determination of probable cause. And therefore, kapag magdi-determine ng probable cause ang isang body, ang isang investigative body like the Committee on Justice as sa impeachment proceedings na yan, ay kailangan ng ebidensya. Kasi ano yung magiging basis ng determination of probable cause? And yung mismong rules of procedure in impeachment proceedings ay talaga namang malinaw nakasabi tungkol sa probable cause. If the committee finds by a vote of the majority of all its members that a probable cause exists on the basis of the evidence adduced before the committee, it shall submit its report, with its report, a resolution setting forth the articles of impeachment. So, yan ang magiging basihan ng determination of probable cause. Ay tandaan natin na yung impeachment proceedings before the Committee on Justice and before the Senate later, ay ito, while it is not exclusively political in character, ito ay yung tinatawag na sui generis constitutional process. Primarily legal, but with political characteristics. At dahil legal nga siya, at it is akin or like an administrative case, ang resulta nito ay removal from office of the official being impeached. And then, it is akin to criminal cases because nga ay kailangan din ng evidentiary rules, di ba? And due process. Kaya ano to yung hybrid, hindi ito strictly na talagang bound na strictly by certain evidentiary standards. Kaya nga lininaw doon sa ground rules and guidelines as adopted no March 25 na actually hindi yun naman talaga ito full-blown trial, hindi naman ito in the sense na magdi-direct examination na, magkakaroon na ng full-blown din na cross-examination, kundi clarificatory questions lang na base doon sa sinabi ng sasabihin ng resource persons, saka yung kanyang mga ebidensya na dala-dala nila in pursuance or in compliance with the subpoena.